Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what kind of content you want to see going forward in the future. So, today I'm going to be talking about getting a job through a staffing agency, or at least incorporating staffing agencies into your job search. Um, this is more so for people who want to gain a little bit of extra experience or background in a certain field. Before kind of transitioning into a more well recognized company or something along those lines. So, a staffing agency is typically an agency that helps companies find employees and that kind of employment. So, they typically would have a contract with specific employers where they take care of the job search and hiring aspect of the recruiting process. So, pretty much they're just outsourcing recruiting to these people. And it's important to note that when you do go through a staffing agency, most of their positions typically tend to be temporary. So it's really good to incorporate into your job search if you need something for the time being, if you need a little bit more time, but you're running out of money or savings and you need to kind of be working while looking for your ideal job or the job that you want. Because a lot of times, staffing agencies, like I just said, have temporary positions and they may or may not become temp to hire, or they may or may not choose to hire you afterwards. Um, and it kind of also depends on the industry that you're choosing to kind of go into. So I was an accounting major with management information systems, and I really wanted to get a background in some kind of accounting experience, whether that was like accounts payable, accounts receivable, or just, tax or audit. Because a lot of the companies that are employed, or no, my bad, a lot of the companies that do have contracts with the staffing agency that I was going through at the time, Robert Half Recruiting, um, did have mostly just those temporary positions, and they usually look for people that are in that have some somewhat form of experience or some background in the field, and then they'll hit you up. Like, once they found positions, you get paired up with a recruiter, or I wouldn't really call them a recruiter. I guess more like a staffing agent. They would call you with an opportunity. So they'd say, "Hey, I have an opportunity with such and such company. Would you be interested in this? This is the rate of pay. This is pretty much like where we can negotiate, etc., etc." You say yes, you can be booked as early as the next day, even, or the day like the next week. And the way that it typically works is that the company that you're going to be working for had paid Robert Half an amount, and then Robert Half decides how much they're going to be paying you. So, in case you did want to get hired at that company once your temporary position kind of ran out, you'd want to probably negotiate directly with the employer and say, "Hey, I don't really need to go through the staffing agency. Could you pay me the full amount?" Because that's how staffing agencies make their money, right? They have the contract with the company, they pay you an hourly rate, and then they pocket the rest, the difference. So I would say incorporating that into your job search as a student could be really, really helpful in terms of developing like Excel skills if you're an accounting student, or, getting some kind of a background. There's a lot of different staffing agencies. They just happen to be more common for um, accounting, finance, etc. But there's always some kind of search engine or some kind of staffing agency for whatever your major is or whatever your field is. Like, say you're in the medical field, there's I believe it's WittKiefer, and then there's PsychPros, there's Scion Staffing for like psychology and for just area type staffing as well. So again, it's not a substitute for your regular job search. It should be something that you incorporate with your regular job search in case you need something temporarily to get yourself going, so that you don't have to worry and strain yourself too much financially while you're still looking for a job. Again, these positions aren't necessarily guaranteed. So even if you do get a call from a staffing agent, sometimes you could either just get staffed right away, or they'll call you and say, "Hey, we have this opportunity, but now you have to, like, we'll schedule you for an interview with that company." And then the company decides, "Hey, yeah, we'll take you on and we want to train you." The last thing I want to say, that you are an employee of the agency, not of the company. So in case you wanted a pay raise, or if you didn't want to stick there anymore, if you're going to be late to work, if you have any of these kind of issues, you want to notify the staffing agency ahead of time. Like, these are the people that you're going to be communicating with, because they're the ones that pay you, they're the ones that give you the benefits. And since most of their positions are typically temporary anyway, a lot of times when you log in your timesheet, you either get paid weekly or bi-weekly, depending on the length of the project. So if the project that they're staffing you on is, say, tax season and it's 12 weeks, you're probably going to get paid weekly. If it's an ongoing and really long engagement, it'll typically be like, and that's, I'm assuming, like a year or so, that would be a bi-weekly type of pay, where you'd log in your hours and do stuff along those lines. So let me know what your thoughts are on staffing agencies in the comments below. Have you ever used one? Are you familiar with it? Do you think you might incorporate that a little bit more into your job search strategy going forward? That's all I kind of have for today. So go ahead and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments of anything you want to see in the future.